So I'm a volunteer trail shuttle for the Ocean Lake Trail, which is a 60-something mile that's maintained by the Waxahachie chapter of the Florida Trail Association, and it runs from Hobe Sound Beach to Lake Okeechobee. And during peak hiking season here in South Florida, which is kind of December through March, first, it's the dry season. Second of all, it's not, over 90 degrees. A lot of people come and they hike down here, and the Ocean Lake Trail is kind of like a mini Florida trail. You get to go through all the different ecosystems. It's much shorter. There's less roadwalks. It's a great beginner backpacking trail. And I only day hike it, and I got into shuttling it because I led a group of 15 women with a close friend of mine along the trail, and every week we would do like a 8 to 12 mile stretch, and I had to figure out logistically like where we could park and how we would do the shuttle, and I just got very familiar with the trail. And started shuttling hikers on it. And I also shuttle hikers around like Lake Okeechobee through hikers on the main Florida Trail. So I've gone down into the sugarcane fields, and I have gone all the way up to Three Lakes, Kissimmee Prairie area. So this keeps me very busy during hiking season in South Florida, and today I actually had no shuttles, and it was nice. I had a massage, and I had therapy, and I met with a friend online, like an intentional self-care day, and then I took a nap. And when I woke up from my nap, some hikers had requested that I do some water drops for them, and so right now I'm on my way to do a water drop at Lake Okeechobee for one hiker that's arriving tomorrow or Wednesday, and then I'm going to do another water drop in Corbett for some hikers that are camping there tonight, and we'll get to the spot tomorrow, and then I'm going to do another water drop on Beeline Highway. There is a water catch that I've been maintaining in Dupuis at Powerline Road, and there's 8 gallons there that I refilled a day or two ago. So I'm fairly certain that one is good and I don't need to drive up in there. I know you probably can't see, but there's a tree line here and power lines, and like 12 miles to the south is Powerline Camp. So I'm not going to drive up in there tonight, but I do plan on doing some night driving in Corbett. Maybe I'll be able to see some animals in the dark, so that's exciting. And I thought I would bring you along because this is a little adventure, and show you kind of what it's like being a trail angel. I hope that you enjoy. Can't see, but I'm putting down 2 water bottles at the kiosk for the Lost Nita trailhead. So I'm standing up on the levee at Lake Okeechobee, and the first lights you see over here are Port Mayaca, which leads to the Okeechobee Waterway, and then the next light is Okeechobee, which is north of the lake. Across the way over here is, oh, I forgot. There was a big fire on the inside of the levee, and the other night I could see it from across the lake. So it's contained now, which is good. The name will come to me later. And then we have Lakeport and Clewiston and Belglade and Pokey over here. And the trailhead is right over there where those trucks are crossing right now. So this is the starting point at Lake Okeechobee. And the lake is the second largest lake in the continental U.S., freshwater lake. So you can barely see all the way, like you can't see all the way across it, but you can barely see the lights all the way across it. So it's more than like 11 miles across. And sometimes at night you can see fireflies here. It's hard to pick up with my phone. And the sunsets are amazing on the way. I'm on the east side of the lake, so the sunsets are amazing. Entrance of Corbett, and they had previously closed down this entrance to work on the road, on North Grade Road, and I have not driven on it since the quote improvements, so we will see how it goes. But I'm going to drive the 20 miles or so through Corbett just to see if I can see any wildlife and enjoy some forest driving. So the first 2.5 miles were redone and were very nice on the North Grade and Corbett. And then about mile 2.5, like right before mile 3, the pavement starts and it's same old potholes, very bumpy. So it does not appear they have done anything to improve this section of the road. So, still in Corbett. I just passed the Ocean Lake crossing and I wasn't thinking to film it. I'm just kind of like lost in the moment. But if you're wondering, it is February 2026 and they graded this portion of the road earlier this season want to say back in like November, maybe even earlier than that. It's fairly smooth. And so the first like 2.5 miles of North Grade are like this. You can tell it was improvements to it, and it was dirt. And then about miles 2.5 to 7.5 of North Grade from the north entrance is a pavement with full of potholes. And then at miles 7.5 to 8, it turns onto South Grade, and it's back to dirt again, much easier to drive on. The Ocean Lake crossing on South Grade is right at mile 9. There are some, I want to say, water crossings on South Grade, like 3 of them, where you have to go down like through some rocky bits, and sometimes there's water, but not right now because it's extremely dry. There's a drought all over Florida. But this is a lot nicer to drive on than the paved portion of North Grade. So, have not seen any animals. So I'm at the Hungryland boardwalk in Corbett, and the whole pavilion was full of trash. I picked up like 2 bags of trash and left the water catch, 3 gallons right here for some hikers that'll be coming through in the morning. But like, if it doesn't fit in the trash can, you should just pack it out. No reason not to. So I'm just leaving Corbett. My little adventure is taking me longer than I expected, but that's okay. I'm getting some good solitude time in. I touched base with 3 hikers via text. They're all staying on Bowman's Island and they're all running out of water, which is crazy because usually to get to Bowman's Island, you're going through at least knee-deep water, sometimes waist-deep water. And it just goes to show like how crazy bad this drought is. So I left 3 gallons for them at the Hungryland boardwalk parking area by the Everglades Youth Camp, and said, you know what, if it's not enough, then just text me and I can swing back out this way because I will be in North Palm tomorrow anyways, so it's not a big deal. I'm also leaving water along Beeline, so if they run out, like, I mean, obviously there's like water in the ditches, so they can always filter water at Beeline, but it's nice to have like ready to go water. So the stretch from Corbett to Loch Slough is around 10 miles. I'm not saying for sure, but you will be crossing Beeline to get to the next campsite. So they'll have 2 different water catches to support them on the way. Anyways, yeah. Oh, okay, so animals. I did see some kind of animal as I was turning towards the Everglades Youth Camp, and it was smaller than a raccoon. It was dark in color. At first I thought it might have been an otter, but it wasn't an otter. It might have been a skunk or maybe a mink. I'm not sure. I don't think my video was very clear, unfortunately. And then I did see a raccoon. I picked up 2 bags of trash and I drove them to the dumpster, the entrance, and when I threw the bags in the dumpster, a raccoon popped out, but I did not get a good video of that either. But so it was not fruitless. I did get to see some animals. So that was fun. So my next stop is Beeline, and then I will be driving home. So we're passing the Ocean Lake crossing right there. We just passed it. And then there's this road to the neighborhood here, Sandridge. That's how you know you're right near the Ocean Lake crossing, on the Beeline Highway. And then this is part of the 1 mile road walk, and most people walk on the west side of the road, but you can also walk on the east side of the road. I tend to leave the water catches up here on the southeast side of the bridge because it's easy to pull in and out of, and it's shady during the day. On the northwest side of the bridge over there, there's often trucks going out and construction workers, and I just wouldn't want, you know, anything to happen to it. Another reason I choose this particular spot is because sometimes people are doing section hikes or partial hikes, and if you go straight on this little levee walk, you can get directly to the trail in like 3.8 miles. So instead of heading south and doing a road walk for a mile and then doing the actual trail, if you're looking to get directly to like the Soggy Socks campsite, it's like 3.8 miles straight down the levee near the concrete bridge. So this is a good access point on the east side of Beeline Highway. It's the southeast corner of the bridge and the levees. You can't really see it because it's dark, but so I just left the water right down there, and I wrote on Sharpie, like, I labeled them with like Ocean or Lake, so it should be all good, and hopefully nobody will mess with them. So thanks for coming along and being a trail angel with me. It was nice putting some trail magic out for some of the Ocean Lake hikers here February 2026, and I'm not looking at you because I'm driving. One of my like truck spiders is crawling up here. Is it just me, or do other people have spiders that live in their vehicles? I like mine because they eat, bugs. But definitely see, if you're an avid hiker like I am, definitely see how you can get involved. I know the Florida Trail Association has chapters all over the state, and they do a wonderful job of trail work and maintaining the trail, and they're always looking for volunteers. The Loxahatchee chapter maintains the Ocean Lake Trail, and they're just all really wonderful people, so check them out. And if you do have a lot of free time or a flexible work schedule like I do, and you work from home and you need an excuse to get out of the house to go hike, being a trail shuttle is an awesome way to do that. So I have been helping hikers on the Ocean Lake Trail, and I've been shuttling through hikers on the Florida Trail, south of Lake Okeechobee, like off 835 in the sugarcane fields, to Clewiston, all around the lake, and then from Okeechobee north to like Kissimmee Prairie Preserve, or even the Three Lakes area. So that's off State Road 60. I can't think of the miles off the top of my head, but 200 something maybe. I don't know. Like, the way that I think about it is, for the area that I cover, anybody is going to have to drive almost 1 to 2 hours to get to where these hikers are. So, some of these places are really remote. And I don't mind. And then they can pitch in for gas, and I'm happy to help out and volunteer in ways that match my vibe, match my energy. I'm an introvert, so it's nice spending time like getting to know people on the ride, and on my low energy days I can still drive people, so that feels good. And I'm getting to see more of the state and more of the trail, and I'm like camping in new places, and it's just been a really wonderful experience. So yeah, definitely find ways that you can give back. If you don't have time, you can always donate money. I am time rich. I am not money rich, so I am donating my time. Anyways, yeah, thanks for coming along on this particular little adventure, and I am sure I will make and share more.